Hamas command center found under cemetery Israel accused of desecrating.
Here's a summary of the article.
Israeli soldiers discovered an underground tunnel running beneath a cemetery in Khan Yunis, the Israel Defense Forces said on Monday. The tunnel was located directly below the Bani Suhaila cemetery by troops from the IDF's 98th Division. Inside the tunnel route, the forces located an office from which a Khan Yunis Brigade battalion commander managed the attack on October 7, an operations room, a command and control center, and the living quarters of senior officials of the Hamas terrorist organization. The tunnel was also used by Hamas to command their attacks against IDF forces both above and below ground. In mid-January, the IDF confirmed it was operating in cemeteries where intelligence indicated that the bodies of Israeli hostages may have been buried. The IDF conducts precise hostage rescue operations in the specific locations where information indicates that the bodies of hostages may be located, the Army said in a statement to NBC News at the time. The hostage identification process, conducted at a secure and alternative location, ensures optimal professional conditions and respect for the deceased. Bodies determined not to be those of hostages are returned with dignity and respect. The military's statement added, if not for Hamas's reprehensible decision to take Israeli men, women, children and babies hostage, the need for such searches for our hostages would not exist.
This post received a score of 10,000, with an upvote ratio of 73%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Not really how the AP article talks about this. Would be good for there to be a less biased telling. There is a claim they found a control center, but they also didn't actually find anything while demolishing the cemetery. They found a tunnel away from the cemetery and claim it runs partially underneath it. But bulldozing the graves is entirely separate from this and likely serves the purpose of encouraging people to leave without any further ties to the area.
CNN mentioned this as well. Israel_said_ they found a tunnel down there. CNN asked to see it, and the Israelis said, no. Then they later gave CNN a drone shot of the tunnel. CNN geolocated it. The tunnel was completely outside the cemetery. There was no evidence that the tunnel ever went through the cemetery. You can watch the video for yourself if you don't believe me.
Greater than Goldfuss brought journalists inside a tunnel shaft he said stretched underneath the mosque and the cemetery. The journalists walked down a long concrete tunnel that branched in multiple directions and arrived at a small collection of rooms soldiers alleged were used by Hamas militants as a command and control center.
I am sure all the media organizations that accused Israel to desecrate the cemetery will apologize any moment now.
Like the BBC, apologized for the hospital bombing. Don't let your hopes up.
People are still waving that around as a war crime. This turned out to not only be in a space outside the hospital, killed way fewer than reported, and was a Hamas missile. Am I correct there?
It was a PIJ missile, Gaza's second terrorist group, but otherwise yes.
Why does Hamas allow PIJ in Gaza? One would think that if you got rid of Fatah in Gaza, you wouldn't want any other potential rival challenging you in Gaza. Also, if I'm a wannabe terrorist, why would I join PIJ? Why not just join the bigger guys with more resources to do more damage?
For the pretense of democracy. Like how in communist countries, in addition to the one ruling party, you have a half-dozen token opposition parties that are there just to give a semblance of multi-party, free election political system.
Why do the Instagram brigades spend so much time demanding Israel unilaterally agree to a ceasefire, instead of demanding that Hamas surrender in the war that they started and are losing badly?
It's fun watching the arrow ranking for this post climb and drop. It's like watching a market ticker. Up, down, up, down, 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 up, up.
Oh, need to check the market. Thanks for the reminder.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.